Well, doctors in Sudan say the Paramilitary Rapid Support Forces has been concealing evidence of its atrocities. The Sudan Doctors Network says fighters have been burning or burying bodies in mass graves in an attempt to cover up killings in the Darfur region. The RSF took over el-Fasher, the capital of North Darfur, 2 weeks ago after driving out the army. The UN says there are reports of brutal attacks as people tried to flee the city. Well, for the latest, Hiba Morgan joins us from Khartoum now, and these allegations of atrocities continue to get worse and worse, and all of this while the fighting actually continues to spread at the same time, Hiba.
Yes, indeed. Now, these allegations and accusations by the Sudan Doctors Network is not new. We heard it from people who have been displaced from the city of el-Fasher following the RSF takeover last month. People saying that they saw the Rapid Support Forces opening fire indiscriminately, accusing each and every person in the city of el-Fasher of being affiliated to the army and its allied forces. Those who survived said that the RSF did not differentiate between women, children, the elderly, and actual fighters, and that even members of the alliance that the RSF is part of, family members of the alliance, of members of the alliance that the RSF is part of, have been killed in these indiscriminate attacks. Now, the RSF, of course, have been accused of summary execution, mass killings, abductions, and those who we spoke to said that the RSF killed people even in their homes. Now, that is where the RSF took over from the Sudanese army. There is fighting going on elsewhere. In the town of Baba Nusa in West Kordofan, the RSF launched repeated attacks on the army base there on Sunday, a wave of attacks that apparently targeted the base with the hopes of taking control of it after months of siege. The resistance committee of Baba Nusa said that the city has been displaced completely or entirely from its civilians, and that the only remaining people there are the people that are affiliated to the army and the soldiers of the Sudanese armed forces. Now, of course, there's also concern of fighting elsewhere and siege by the RSF elsewhere in the Kordofan region, with the UN saying that as a result of these siege, the situation there is quite catastrophic. The humanitarian situation there is very dire, with thousands and thousands of people in desperate need of humanitarian assistance.
Hiba, thank you so much for all of that. Hiba Morgan for us in Khartoum. The RSF takeover of el-Fasher is a significant development in the conflict because it means the group now controls most of the Darfur region. The UN estimates that 82,000 people fled el-Fasher after the RSF took over the city. Most of them were women and children. They fled on foot to the nearby town of Tawila, around 60 kilometres away. And some survivors travelled for many days, covering hundreds of kilometres, to reach safety in a displacement camp in Al-Daba in northern state. Well, for more on all of this, we're joined now by Wazim Solangi. He is the Sudan Country Director for the humanitarian aid group Triangle Generation Humanitarian. He joins us from Tawila in northern Darfur, where, as we have said, some el-Fasher residents have fled to. Thanks so much for being with us here on Al Jazeera. You're seeing all of this firsthand. You're hearing the stories firsthand. Can you give us a bit more of an idea of what it is like for people as they arrive there in Tawila?
Thank you for having me. And definitely, yes, we can see people fleeing from el-Fasher, arriving here in Tawila, where I'm currently present, along with our TGH team and other partners, working tirelessly to support those we are receiving from el-Fasher. So mostly people fleeing from el-Fasher, they are arriving in Tawila with nothing but their lives. We have seen the situation in Tawila was already overwhelming and concerning to see so many IDPs already gathered in one place in Tawila, and protection services were already exhausted. And now we can see the new arrival since the fall of el-Fasher from 27th October till 10th, when we are talking on 10th November. There are more than 7,000 IDPs who have arrived in Tawila town. And we know those challenges. As humanitarian organizations, we were already struggling to meet the needs of already existing IDPs who fled from el-Fasher. And now it's a more overwhelming situation here.
What about those people that haven't made it to Tawila. We know that more than 82,000 people have fled el-Fasher, but not all of them have arrived. Do we have any idea of what's happened to them?
Yes, so I was at this reception site yesterday, the first gate where mostly IDPs are arriving from el-Fasher. And we had a chance to speak with some newly arrived IDPs. And they are mentioning different reasons that we were expecting more than 215,000 more IDPs to Tawila town. And there are different reasons which we can definitely underline. The first of all, the limited resources of transportation. People arrived here, they have mentioned that there are very limited transporters or the mean of transportation to bring those who are stuck in el-Fasher. Secondly, the prices of transportation are very high, skyrocketing currently. So definitely people have no means to pay those high prices of transportation. And thirdly, we can see this road from el-Fasher coming to Tawila. Those IDPs definitely have the fear of insecurity on those roads. Different steps they have to pass. So it's insecurity, so many checkpoints on the roads. And also, again, there are some injured people, some are definitely vulnerable. Some IDPs mentioned that some people were just abandoned on the way because they could not make it to Tawila. So they left their families. It caused a lot of separated families arriving here in Tawila.
We also understand that many unaccompanied children have arrived there in Tawila. I mean, no doubt suffering unimaginable loss. What protection, what long-term support can you actually offer them once they're there if they have lost both of their parents?
Today morning, we were at this IDP's displacement site in Tawila, which is the biggest IDP site. And it has become huge. If we compare with the June to now, it has become huge IDP site. And we met one of the child who we have received here. And this child is separated and an accompanied child. He mentioned that if we can help as a TGH and other humanitarian partners to find his parents, to find his siblings, or we can help him to find his relatives. So definitely they are coming here traumatized. We find those unaccompanied children malnourished. We find those unaccompanied children starved and dehydrated. And what they need is a shelter. They need our protection assistance. They need food. They need medical assistance. And all the INGOs here and humanitarians, we are committed to provide those services to children here.
Thank you so much, Wasim. We really do appreciate you speaking to us and giving us a sense of what it is like there in Tawila. Wasim Solangi for us. Thank you again.
Thank you so much.
Don't miss out and get the full picture. Subscribe to Al Jazeera for reliable news and expert insights. Like, share, stay ahead.